Hello everyone and welcome back to our channel. Today we try the Touroll J1 ST. This is the step-through ST variant. In fact stands for just that, so it misses the central axle so we can climb without having to climb over with the leg behind. Maybe it is more comfortable for those who have a little more limited mobility and do not want to get tired climbing in the classic way, or even for those who just want to be more comfortable and stay Saracendi without doing too many acrobatics. And it's a trekking bike, given the wheel from 27 reorder, order 2 in, order 2, order 1, 1 to 2, order 1, reorder with medium tessellation, so we can safely go on both asphalt and dirt roads. On the dirt road, the front shock absorber also helps us a lot. In fact, we can safely go on country paths like this, for example, and sit quietly in the saddle, very comfortable. We have front and rear metal fenders, a luggage rack with maximum load up to 25 kilo. A saddle that can be adjusted from a really low minimum height. I am 1 reorder, order 2 at order 2, order 1, 87, order 1 reorder. It fits a child almost, and it can be adjusted to a respectable height, even too tall even for me, so it's a little good for everyone. The handlebar can be adjusted with the inclination of the rod. You can adjust the handlebar, and in fact tilting more or less this, you raise the handlebar and get a little closer. So we definitely find our setup according to our physique, our riding style. The bike is also equipped with active and passive front lights, so we have both the powered one and the front reflector. We have behind us a stop that is activated when we turn on the front lights, or that acts as position lights, or the classic stop that is activated. When we go to use the brakes, in fact, I don't know if you can see, maybe we tighten the camera a little. We can make ourselves seen by those who follow us in order to avoid that they come on us on the handlebar, which has a particular shape, very comfortable, I must say. We obviously have the brake knobs, the onboard computer with all the bike management, the bell. The control for the Shimano 7-speed rear gearbox is the accelerator. In this case I have mounted it, but the bike arrives without the accelerator mounted. Do you have it in the box? If you want, you can install it. It is easily done with an Allen key, and in front we have the connector that is basically closed and hooded. Just open it and connect it. You don't need to be a technician to do this, and we can use the accelerator, which I remind you is illegal on public roads. And on private land you can use it as you please. The bike has 5 levels of pedal assistance. It does not have a torque sensor but has a speed sensor, so the various steps of pedal assistance vary for the maximum speed that the bike can reach. Maybe in the road test I'll explain it a little better this way. Easier to understand. The battery, as well as being beautiful integrated into the frame, is also removable. To disconnect it, obviously we have to turn off the onboard computer, turn the key. We have 2 that come with it and can easily detach it, so we can take it off. Maybe when the bike remains in the garage, it is a lot of time that is not used to prevent it from being discharged unnecessarily, or if we want to charge the bike maintaining, or better, we take the battery home, we leave the bike in the garage. So we can monitor the charge. It offers 561 watts now, so we have an autonomy, considering the engine, of about 100 kilometers in assisted pedaling. Obviously, if used by the Silator without pedaling, given that all the battery that has to take care of the work to do goes a little more, let's say, reduce the general autonomy. But if you use it as a normal bicycle with assisted pedaling, you do your 100 kilometers. Maybe it won't be 100, they will reach 80, 85. Obviously depends on weight from the type of road and also from the driving style. However, it has a good autonomy. The battery recharges in about 4 or 5 hours. It depends on how much you have discharged it, but we always say this, it depends. It's like the phone. If I downloaded it up to 10%, it takes much longer than if you download it up to 30. This is obvious. The autonomy itself depends on the route, the weight of the driver and the driving style. The shock absorbers can be adjusted in preload and can possibly be locked in order to keep them rigid, so it becomes a classic bike in all respects. Maybe it is useful when we have underlined a fairly fluid and clean road surface, therefore asphalt. And we want a bike that is a little more responsive, while for all other cases it is still advisable to keep the shock unlocked. The pedals are rubber with small cleats that serve to have more grip on the shoe. They are quite comfortable. The bike weighs about 27-28 kilo, and now I don't remember exactly when we weighed it. However, the kilos are not felt. In fact, the big wheels acting as a gyroscope easily keep the balance, so much so that often I go without holding at least the handlebar. It is not advisable to do, but you can do it safely, also because the bike is quite balanced, so we have no problem doing some small acrobatics without hands. The bike arrives practically almost all assembled. You only have to put the handlebar. There are 4 screws with the head allen and the front wheel. Very simple operation to inflate the wheels, and then you are ready to go around. The battery arrives charged around 70-80%, so if you want you can use it immediately or charge it up to 100%, and the next day maybe discharge it up to 20%. I advise against discharging the batteries of electric bikes below 20% because you will damage the charging cycles, but if you have a need you can get off, sometimes nothing happens. And obviously if you have the habit of discharging it to 0%, surely in the long run you will find yourself with the battery that will have less autonomy than it should give. Making videos in the countryside with mosquitoes is not comfortable. The bike brakes are mechanical and therefore we certainly have a smaller grip than the hydraulic ones, but they are proportionate to the type of road, the type of route and the power of the bike, so you will never find yourself having to hope to have brakes that work better. Among other things, hydraulic brakes, yes, it is true that they have a greater grip, but as far as management, maintenance are concerned, they are much more complicated than mechanical ones. Here, if the wire breaks, just buy it and change it. As for the hydraulic ones, you have to go to purge the system, change the oil. They become an operation that maybe if you are not practical, becomes a little more. Complicated and Annoying Touroll is a proprietary brand of Geek Buy. In fact, at the moment they are promoting the whole line. There are also other very interesting models, and the thing that really makes them a good buy is the fact that such a bike should normally cost around 1,000 euro. They offer it for just under 800 thanks to our coupons that you can find in the description, and therefore since they are on promotion it is the right time in my opinion to make this type of purchase. Let's start the bike, see how it goes. On the road then, level 0 is obviously a normal bike, so it's a mom bike, so it's like the engine is off. If we go to level 1, turning the pedals, the push is felt and reaches up to about 8 km/h. Level 2, another little push and we're up to 15-16 km/h. Level 3 we're about 18-19 around. Level 4 we're about 21. Level 5, here we go. Here the engine feels a nice push. We get to 25 km/h like this. Obviously we're a bit on top because I'm pedaling, but if I don't pedal the bike stops at 25 km/h. As a result, we respect the full speed limits imposed by the highway code and can ride our bike safely. Let's go down to level 1, test the engine with the throttle. Level 1, okay, the accelerator, as you can see here from the power draw, stops at around 12-13 km/h at level 1. Level 2, we go up to 15. They are the same levels we have with pedal assist. Level 3, we're coming up about 18, okay? Level 4, we should get to 21, about 22. Level 5, we're maxing out, so 25. I'm not pedaling right now. The engine takes us to about 25 km/h. Let's find it uphill. Now the cruise control is in. We slow it down and go pedaling. So let's see what the bike does when pedaling. The seat is comfortable, the handlebar can be adjusted in height and depth by acting on this just tilt it more or less forward. We have the handlebar closer, higher. This then rightly can rotate, so we find the right size for our physique. M1 reorder, order 2M, order 2, order 1, 87, order 1 reorder. So as it stands, I'm pretty good. Uphill, the bike is quite light. We are at level 5. We climb to about 20 km/h without effort. I might as well let the handlebar pedal without holding it. The bike climbs and maintains the trajectory without any problem. Obviously, if I had to pedal with physical strength, then that's it. I couldn't stay without holding the handlebars because I would have to hold myself somewhere. Instead, in this case, we climb quietly without making any effort. And with the bike going smoothly, so the engine works and definitely makes the walk much more comfortable. Like the wheels are almost dirt wheels. They don't have one of the studs too high, any pieces too high, but they are fine for both dirt and asphalt, so they are a good middle ground. In fact, the bike is a trekking bike, so it is fine on dirt roads. And we also have the front shock absorber that helps us. Surely you will not go there to make jumps, but on one dirt road in the countryside or in the mountains, you can go there safely. Let's see what the engine does on its own without our thrust. I remember we're going uphill. Okay, the bike keeps climbing. He doesn't care if he pedals or not. Now the cruise control has entered. It is activated after 10 minutes 10 seconds that we keep the accelerator pressed and allows us to make the bike go without having to keep it pressed. To disable it, just touch the brakes, turn the pedals or the accelerator itself. The bike goes very easily, stops at 26 km/h, about 25. As required by the highway code, and in the event that the speed, perhaps due to the climb, decreases, the engine reactivates automatically, obviously using the cruise control. Obviously this is not a procedure that can be followed on public roads. In fact, neither the accelerator nor the cruise control are well seen by the highway code. Now we arrive at a pitch, we change setting to the bike. I pedal so we get there a little sooner. Obviously the pedaling is just to give an extra sprint, because anyway the engine would do it easily. Obviously when it reaches 26, 25, the engine says hello to me, because in any case the maximum speed is that, and therefore it is disabled if we act on the onboard computer. Just press more or less at the same time. And we access the menu, press the button to turn off and go to speed, and take it to the entry at maximum, which is 32 km/h. Again, button to turn off, we hold it so that the settings go into memory and we turn it back on. This way the bike will no longer stop at 25 km/h but should reach about 30. Let's see what he does. The power applied to the wheels is the same. That is, we don't have an extra push. The only thing that instead of stopping at 26 stops at 30. Let's see with the accelerator, the speed is about 27, 28 km/h. Okay, 28. Consider that I have a certain mass. I weigh almost 90 kilos. And I do enough sailing so the speed does not reach immediately the bike. However, we are already around 29-30 km/h, which is the maximum that is set on the board computer. The brakes, although mechanical, are still disc with 16 discs and work great. The bike stops in very tight spaces, also because our total weight is not exaggerated, so just stop. With both brakes it stops pretty easily. My advice: if you are looking for an electric city bike with a good ability to go even on dirt roads, I recommend you to take this bike. The price, I repeat, is lower than the actual value it has at the moment, and its road characteristics are really good. So I recommend it. In the description I leave you the link to purchase, the coupon to get a discount. If you found this review useful and liked it, maybe leave a like and subscribe to the channel. Subscribers continue to grow, but we would like to see them grow more, since in the statistics we have seen that many of those who look at our reviews are not subscribed. Maybe it doesn't cost me anything, but for us it matters a lot that the work we do is appreciated. So sign up for now, that's all. I'll leave you to the next review. Hello from Giuseppe from LG Informatica.